Gielinor, the magical world of RuneScape. It's divided into chunks for easy use. Welcome to Chunkman Dead Die Kill, the series where I conquer the landmass of Gielinor by doing tasks and unlocking chunks. Last episode we completed 3 tasks to unlock 3 chunks. These tasks were all quests, starting with the entrance of the Recipe for Disaster quest, with the Another Cooks subquest, and then freeing the Goblin Generals and Evil Dave. Our map expanded with the Sorcerer's Tower chunk, Seer's Village, and the entrance to the Lava Dragon Isle in the wilderness. Today we will start off with Elemental Workshop Part 1 after unlocking Seer's Village last episode. Back in Seer's, we are just below the Elemental Workshop itself, and if we search this bookcase we can start the quest. The book mentions in ancient times there was a new ore found with some elemental energy. Because they noticed it could be used for a bad purpose, they decided to close down the workshop they used to make the bars, but it says that we can find an entry to the workshop within this leather-bound volume. So if we use the knife on the battered book, we get a battered key, which we in turn then can use on this odd looking wall. And then we get into the Elemental Workshop. It's been closed down for a while, so this wheel isn't spinning anymore. Let's start up the entire workshop once more. Let's turn the water controls on both sides so the water is flowing with the wheel here to generate power. There we go. Then if you look at the pipes, the next area is over here in the eastern side, and we have some very big bellows, but it's broken, so we found some leather in one of the crates, and there we go, that's fixed. And now we have an automatic bellows system. Next up, while following the pipes over here, we have a furnace, but it isn't burning anymore, so with this stone bowl we found, we can scoop up some of the lava here and put it into the furnace to start it up again. And now we need to get something to actually smelt a bar, so in the western room we can find some elemental rocks. And if we try to mine it, we get an earth elemental which we need to defeat. 1 elemental ore obtained. Now to smelt it together with some coal into a bar. There we go, 1 elemental bar. And now to process the bar. And there we go, that was a fast quest. We get 1 quest point, 5000 crafting experience, 5000 smithing experience, and of course the elemental shield and the possibility to make elemental shields. But either way, because we completed Elemental Workshop number 1, this is another task to complete on our spreadsheet and another chunk to pick. We are finishing a lot of quests lately. This is already our 58th Elemental Workshop Part 1 has been completed for 176 landmass chunks in total now. And then back to our map, we unlocked the entrance to the Lava Dragon Isle last time, which would give us access to the demonic ruins, the Scorpion Pit with Scorpia, and I think the one here has one of the wilderness bosses, but not that we will be able to do this anytime soon. Let's hope for something else than the wilderness. Let's pick a chunk. Ooh. We get more of Caterpie. We get the left side. And we get Keep Le Fay. We needed Keep Le Fay for one of the Camelot Castle quests. Not sure if we can now do everything in the series. It also means we have a few clue steps over here that we can now do. I think for Family Crest there's a cook in this building, so we might be able to do the quest. The entrance is in the chunk. Maybe if he wanders out a bit we could do that quest as well. So all in all, a pretty good unlock, I'd say. Next up is going to be Elemental Workshop number 2. So building on the first experience we had in the Elemental Workshop, let's see what is going to be next. We're here at the dig site, and in this bookcase we found another beaten book. So let's see, there is a paper in it. The book here is the sequel of the slashed book, and it contains the knowledge of priming a bar to be able to get more out of the ore and refining it. So let's see what the scroll was. Some kind of notes on how to do things. So maybe let's go back to the Elemental Workshop and see what we need to do to prime a bar. And the book also mentioned that it was making helms instead of shields. So let's see what we can do there. First up, we need to open this hatch here in the middle of the Elemental Workshop to go to the next level where we can prime the bars. So let's maybe search the Elemental Workshop for a key. There we go. And this should open it. Let's go down. Here we see a big room that's all meant to be used to prime a bar. So let's maybe take some schematics. If we look at this crane over here, it says it is a broken claw, so we will need to repair that one or replace it, and it seems to be made of the same material as the elemental bars we made in the first part. So let's kill a few elemental rocks. We have enough for 3 bars, and one of the bars we are going to use is going to be for the elemental helm, and the other one we will use then for a upgraded elemental shield. 3 bars made, and we're going to want 1 for the crane claw. Then we need to be sure to get to it. So let's pull the lever and use the claw on it. There we go. Now, because there was a lot of time since this workshop was active, there are also some things here that are broken, so we will have to fix them. First of all, we need to make sure some pipes are attached. There we go. The junction box, which we just fixed, is for the steam press over here, so that's just after the claw. Next up, we need to get some cogs and some piping to fix the other parts here in the elemental workshop. So for the third part, where there is going to be water, we need to make sure the pipes are fixed. And then for the last part, you see here a wind tunnel, and we need to make sure that works. So let's put on the cogs. There we go. Now the wind tunnel is working once more. Time to prime our bar. First up, let's put it on the cart here and let's put it in the lava. There we go. We have one very hot elemental bar. So, on to the next step. Time to press the bar. There we go. Very flat. On to the next part. Time to cool down the bar by putting it inside of the water tank here. There we go, our bar is not hot anymore. On to the last step of priming our bar. Let's make sure it dries really well after being put into the water. And then to make sure we can get to the bar, let's pull it back to the start and take from the jig cart. There we go, we have a primed bar. Time to do the same for the other bar we have for the elemental shield. There we go, 2 primed bars. Now let's go down and see where we need to make the helm. There seems to be a machine here. Let's put in the primed bar on one side. And then we'll have to take seat into the other side to imbue the bar. Let's do the same for our second bar. There we go. It did cost us about 40 magic levels to make those 2 bars. And now to create the mind helm. Let's use it on the workbench. And there we go. That is the end of Elemental Workshop Part 2. We get 1 quest point, 7500 crafting experience, 7500 smithing experience, and we can now make mind equipment instead of the elemental equipment. The mind helmet only gives a defense of 6 magic, so that's not really that great, but we can use our other bar to make a mind shield. There we go. And this now has 3 extra magic defense compared to the elemental shield. But either way, we finished Elemental Workshop Part 2, which means that's another quest completed, another task completed, and another chunk to pick. Another quest completed. This is our 59th Elemental Workshop Part 2. There isn't a part 3 yet, but maybe in the near future we will be able to get that one. But either way, that was Elemental Workshop Part 2 completed for 177 chunks unlocked now. And then back to the map we go. We unlocked the left part of Caterpie together with Keep Le Fay last time. So if we look at the map, we are just missing the other part of Caterpie and the entrance to White Wolf Mountain, which would actually be a really great chunk to unlock because it would give us access to White Wolf Mountain, and that would mean we can do at least, I think, Hero's Quest and maybe some other things. But let's see what the chunk picker has in store for us. Pick a chunk. Okay, first of all we get some water. Getting a bit closer to Fossil Island once more. But it was a water chunk, so let's try that again. Pick a chunk. Okay, some more of the void. Third time's the charm. Pick a chunk. Or not. This might be a water chunk, but this is an important one because we got one closer to Dragontooth Island, which we need for the Ghosts Ahoy quest. So only one more chunk for that. But as it was a water chunk, let's try again. Pick a chunk. Okay, now getting a little closer to Harmony Island. Lots of water to be unlocked still, so let's pick a chunk. We get a part of the Death Plateau, but as we do not have the Death Plateau starting point, this isn't useful at the moment. The next quest will be Merlin's Crystal. We asked King Arthur if we can join the Knights of the Round Table, but he wants us to prove ourselves first, and there is just the perfect quest for us, and that is that Merlin has trapped himself in a crystal and they need to figure out how to get him out. So let's talk to some of the Knights of the Round Table to see if they know something more. So let's talk to Sir Gawain first. Sir Gawain here mentions that it's all the work of Morgan Le Fay. So this is the chunk we unlocked a few chunks ago with her home base, so let's unlock that on our map. We need to know how to get into the keep to know how to free Merlin. So let's talk to Sir Lancelot here to see if he knows. He mentions that all of the deliveries that are going to get to the keep are done via boat via Caterby. So from this port over here until the backside of the keep. So that is where we are going. Arnheim here does the shipments to the keep here with his ship, but he doesn't want to let us on. So let's hide in one of his crates behind the candle shop so we can infiltrate the castle. And there we go. We got to the keep, so now we can just run in and go up. The only person we can see at the top is Sir Mordred here, a renegade knight. And no Morgan Le Fay to see, so let's maybe try and beat up Sir Mordred. There we go. And that spawned Morgan Le Fay. Apparently Sir Mordred is her son. Morgan mentions that she is indeed the one that entrapped Merlin in the crystal, but for her son's life she gave us the instructions on how to free him. One of the items we needed were bad bones, so we already had that. One other thing we need is a black candle. The candle maker here will make us one, but he wants a bucket of wax in return as payment. So let's take this insect repellent, go to the beehives and fill up a bucket. There we go, that's the black candle. The next item we need is the Excalibur, and we can get it from the Lady of the Lake. So let's talk to her. The Lady of the Lake here doesn't want to give the sword to anyone unworthy. So she set up a test for us. We need to go to Port Sarim and go upstairs from the jeweler's shop. When we try to get into the jeweler's shop, we get a beggar asking us for some bread. So we are nice adventurers, so let's give him the bread. And apparently the beggar was the Lady of the Lake. We have passed the test and we got Excalibur. So this is also a very nice sword, because if you use the special attack we increase our defense by 8. Next up we need to know what spell we need to cast, and the inscription for the spell is found at a Zamorakian altar, and that's why we need to go to Varrock. if we check this chaos altar, we can find the inscription here, and this is the spell we need to do. So now we should have everything: the candle, the bones, Excalibur, and the spell. So let's go back to Camelot. The only thing we need for this is to have the correct location to do the spell, and we need to find a circle really close to where Merlin is trapped. So this is going to be the circle. Let's light our candle. Let's drop our bones. There we see Trantax the Mighty. And now to say the words we found at the temple. That made sure that we are now in control of the ghost, and he must grant us a wish. So let's wish for Merlin to be free from the crystal. He says it is done, we only need to use the Excalibur to break it. At the top of the castle, here we have Merlin within the crystal. Let's smash it, and there we go. That is Merlin freed. Now that Merlin is free, let's go back to King Arthur and get our reward. We are now a Knight of the Round Table, an honorary knight, and that completes the quest. We get 6 quest points, that's quite a lot, which means we are now over 100 quest points, and of course we get the Excalibur. Not mind breaking the rewards, but because we completed the quest, that's another task completed and another chunk to pick. Our 60th quest already, Merlin's Crystal, has been completed for a total of 178 landmass chunks unlocked. And then back to our map, we got a part of the way to Trollheim and the Troll Stronghold. So now we have the option to get the next part, but let's hope maybe we get the Death Plateau chunk instead, so we can actually get there. So let's see what the chunk picker decides for us. Pick a chunk. Okay, getting really close to another part we cannot get to. Close to Fossil Island, but it is a water chunk, so we can choose again. Pick a chunk. Okay, some more of the void. Third time's the charm. Pick a chunk. Oof. It is a landmass chunk, a part of the tar swamp from Fossil Island, and then a small island, but not really useful. That is going to be all for this episode. Another 3 quests done this episode, so we're moving along swiftly. Next episode we will see what else is possible to unlock our next chunks. So as always, have a good one and see you next week.